the defending champions, the Gujarat Titans, who've let go of three players. Jason Roy, we mentioned Gurbaz and Lockie Ferguson as well. Let's just put out below what they've done in terms of retentions and whatnot. Now, the main telling bits from this particular releases, rather, no Dominic Drakes as well. Gurkirat Singh, Jason Roy, and Varun Aaron. They actually have a player called Gurkirat Singh, believe it or not. And it'll be interesting to see what Gurkirat thinks about Gujarat. How much do they need to reinvent themselves?
Gurkirat Singh man,
They won the championship already,
आर
right?
आरसीबी के लिए खेला है भाई गुरकीरत. How can you forget?
Gurkirat Singh man was the lucky charm or the totka that you called that helped Gujarat Titans win the title in the first attempt. So and I actually made a joke about it. Someone said I told them the reason why Gujarat Titans won was because they had a Gurkirat Singh and they had a Shubman Gill. So I don't think just Gill can do it alone this time, but jokes apart, I'm just yeah.
It's not wholesale changes by any stretch, right, boys? Because they won the competition. I know people like Shami is still there. I know people like many are questioning whether they have that 5-6-7. Sai Kishore just hit 100 for Chennai Super. I mean, Chennai, I'm saying, yeah, basically Tamil Nadu in the Vijay Hazare. And then you look at their openers. Is the openers a cause for concern? Not really. So, Gurkirat?
I thought Saha did a brilliant job for them, and overall as well, Saha as a power play basher in IPL has pretty good numbers. I thought, if I'm not wrong, his strike rate last season was the third highest in the power play, and his average was decent as well. He was just, I think Saha as a batter was just timing his dismissal to perfection. He was doing the job in the power play. He knew his limitations outside the power play, and he was just finding a way to dismiss himself so that he could, set in the right entry point for the next batter to follow. Which was Matthew Wade in this case.
Yeah.
So
I think Saha is the best player to have a retired out strategy. That even if you're not out, just end of power play, your job done, go back, enough batting depth to counter after that. And Saha don't really adds a lot of value after power play anyway.
Yeah. He knows he doesn't have the power game, and he knows that he has limitations in his game. So he did his job perfectly. I think what they'll need from Shubman Gill this time is to be a little quicker in the power play. Outside the power play, his strike rate was good. I thought he was, if I'm not wrong, he was going at around 135, 140, which is good. And I think the minimum expectation that you can have from an opener is if it's not a basher like Riddhiman Saha is, that opener can give you a 400 to a 450 run season at a minimum average of 30 and at a minimum strike rate of 135. If Shubman Gill can give a season of 35 average 35 and a strike rate of 140 145, I think he would have done really well for Gujarat. I'm not surprised that they let go Lockie, because like I said, he became inconsistent, and Alzari Joseph has been really good in recent times. It's a surprise that he's made his T20I debut only this year when India toured West Indies. But you saw even in the 3 games that West Indies played in the World T20 how he was their strike bowler. So Alzari Joseph becomes a lock. Yes, they all did well in the power play. He actually had better strike rate than Mohammad Shami, and Mohammad Shami works decently as a support pacer. There's Hardik as well who can provide another pace bowling option. I think their bowling still sorted with Rashid and Sai Kishore being there, and they really didn't even use Tewatia last time as a bowler. So on a bad day he can be also a bowling option. Uh, Probably it would help if they could nail what. Now, a lot of people will find this surprising, but they have retained Vijay Shankar. So they have the faith in his skills. I think they will again try and bat Vijay Shankar at 3 now that they have released Matthew Wade, and try and get batting value out of him. And I still think that he can give that value, because technically he looks all right. He has the shots, he has the game. For some reason or the other, I don't know why post the 2018 IPL things have not worked out for him. So maybe if Vijay Shankar does the job for them, then they probably end up having, I think, 7 to 8 bowling options, with Vijay Shankar also being a bowling option. So on the balance front, I think they'd do fine because Rashid also showed them that he can be a number seven. Then you have Sai Kishore to follow at it, and Shami can also just whack a few if you want. So can
Yeah.
Joseph. So I think overall they've done well. I'd be interested to see who they go for as the three overseas slots.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So, just to pick your mind about Gujarat then, because he's mentioned quite a bit there. David Miller is a man who stands out. Hardik Pandya was, of course, the leader and the batter at four that they didn't see, but many would say, okay, fine, it was a more mature Hardik and all of that. And then they had someone like Sadarangani and then Rashid, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any massive change required in that starting 11? Because what Gurkirat said is bang on with all of them. Maybe Vijay Shankar, debatable, but rest pick themselves.
Yeah, so massive changes not really, and that is why they have not released anyone. If Saha continues to
Sorry, Som, there's a
play,
massive scratch in terms of your echo. Okay, go on now. I think it's better now.
yeah. So my point is, if Saha continues to have a good power play season, if I may call it, it works wonders for them because it sort of opens up a spot. Uh, they've gone for the bowling heavy route last season. They did not even play Shashank Manohar. Sorry.
Shashank. I know Abhinav Manohar.
Abhinav Manohar. Shashank Manohar तो क्यों खेलेगा अभी? Yeah. Abhinav Manohar, and he's a decent batter, if I may add. He's done well for Karnataka, so that is one route that you can actually take if they want to have a batting heavy route. Play Manohar and maybe swap him for a pacer or a bowler, which they did not do. Two mini red flags. One is Hardik's bowling fitness for the entire season, because last time we saw him not giving his 100% while chasing balls to the boundary. What happened?
That sounds like something which passed me. But like, I think your audio is a little glitchy. It only is happening in this Gujarat little chat. Elsewhere, it was fine. But we'll just finish off this chat because we've spoken nearly
Yeah,
2 hours.
just last thing. I just think Gujarat have used all their clutches in one season.
Okay, we can't hear you now. Can we? We'll
Yeah,
wait for
and
so. Yeah,
like,
we can.
yeah, my only point is probably they have used all their clutches in the last season. I hope, or their fans would hope, they have a few more clutches remaining for the seasons to come.
Yeah, indeed. Gurkirat, I mean, they had multiple match winners last time out. One match Miller doing it, one match Gill, one match Saha, and all of that. Was that the beauty of them, essentially?
The important thing is, and I keep saying this, Hardik before the playoffs had acknowledged that they had been quite lucky, and this is something that their fans and fans in T20 need to understand and acknowledge. They were definitely lucky. You can't really get out of jail the number of amounts that the amount of times they got out of jail. So there will also be a few games where they'll be ahead and they'll lose due to bad luck. It is due. It is due. It will happen. One player that I wanted to discuss with respect to Gujarat is someone like Noor Ahmed. He didn't really play a lot of games last time. He's a left arm wrist spin bowler. Did decently for Afghanistan in the under 19 World Cup last year, and he was in their squad I think this time as well in the World T20.
Yep.
If and whenever he gets a chance, um, I won't be surprised if he does well. And even if he doesn't play, like one season, if he stays with, he was there. If he stays another season with them, what it does is that he keeps learning from Rashid. And probably if and when the time comes when Rashid's not available due to injury or due to whatsoever, by the way, touchwood, Rashid never gets injured. I've never heard that Rashid's been injured, and he plays all over the globe.
It's
You
in
know,
the Afghanistan constitution.
it's and it's not that he doesn't field in the deep. He fields in the deep. He's fit. He never gets injured. So
Yeah.
if and when Rashid gets injured, they have a left arm wrist spinner as well. If they want to unleash him at some point of time. And
Will they
I
ever go with a three spinner approach, with Sai Kishore also being mentioned by you earlier?
I don't think they'll do it unless probably they, if
They're
say
playing in Chepauk.
if they're going to play, and that too at a used pitch. If they're going to play at a used pitch in Chepauk against a lineup which say is struggling against spin, or it has not seen a bowler before, then you can take that gamble. And if that gamble comes off, then why not?
Hmm. Okay, boys, it's been thoroughly entertaining on this Tuesday evening to pick the bones about what's happened in terms of all the IPL retentions.